Thank you for being here, everyone. This is a Vermont Public Service Board public hearing in docket number 8770 regarding a petition filed by Otter Valley Solar Farm LLC requesting a certificate of public good authorizing the construction and operation of a 2.18 megawatt solar electric generation facility at West Creek Road and Kendall Hill Road in Pittsford, Vermont. My name is Monica Stillman. I'm an environmental analyst with the Public Service Board and have been assigned as the hearing officer in this case. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to provide an opportunity to hear input from the public regarding the petition filed by Otter Valley Solar Farm LLC for the project, which will occupy approximately 12.6 acres of a 28.2 acre parcel of land at the intersection of West Creek Road and Kendall Hill Road in Pittsford. The comments received at the hearing will become part of the public record in this docket, and comments can also be provided using direct mail or email. We have representatives of Otter Valley Solar Farm here tonight. We also have a representative from the Vermont Department of Public Service. They're available for questions if anybody has questions at the end of the proceeding. And given that there are no members of the public here wishing to speak, we will give a period of time to see if anyone shows up and give them the opportunity to speak if they would like to. And in the interim, we will go off the record. Okay. Member of the public, I just want to preface your time to make comments because you said you had questions to ask, and the purpose of the Public Service Board holding these hearings is to hear from the public. It gives people the opportunity to make comments that they have about the project.
Okay.
They're recorded by a court recorder. They become part of the record in the case. They're not part of the evidentiary record. It's used at the technical hearing, but they do give us information and input to consider, both the board and all the different parties in the case, the department and the petitioner and the Agency of Natural Resources. It gives us information that we can consider in evaluating all the different factors that we have to consider for the project. So to the extent you have questions, it's probably going to be limited what I can answer for you. Representatives from the petitioner are here. If you want to talk to them after the formal part of the public hearing, that's fine. And also Sheila Grace sitting behind you is with the Department of Public Service, and one of their roles is to help people understand the process and how it works. So if you have questions along those lines, you can talk to her.
Okay, thank you.
So given that, we're talking here about the proposed solar farm on West Creek Road and Kendall Hill Road, and you're free to make your comments for the record.
So really I have two main comments. One is the Public Service Board and the folks reviewing the project should inquire as to the depreciation rate of the solar panels, the rate at which they reduce in value and the resultant property tax decline over the lifespan of the asset. I'm just curious as to, and I know this is more of a question but the statement, I honestly don't know what that is. My overall concern is that with solar development, particularly development not performed by a utility, which I would expect to remain within the state of Vermont, that when these panels reach the end of their useful life, there'll be a cost that needs to be borne for their removal, particularly those that are in wetland locations and difficult locations to remove and ultimately dispose of the solar panels. Second comment is I have experience with a project not far from this site, and in all honesty, I haven't reviewed the site plans. But you should take careful note of floodplain impacts, in particular floodborne debris. The Otter Creek, as we all know, is prone to flooding. Fairly significant flood debris travels down through this area, may trap upon the solar panel pedestals themselves. So, am I being both typed and recorded at the same time? I feel like I'm...
Yes, you are. And the recording is not on behalf of the Public Service Board. That's
Okay.
an outside entity.
Oh,
Yeah, I work with Vermonters for a Clean Environment, and we just keep record of what's going on.
oh, okay. Feel like I have a
Yes.
spotlight.
Sorry.
You know, we got showed up for the 7 o'clock hearing. So just in general, 2 statements, you know.
Okay, well, I can give sort of an answer, and then you can talk to the folks that I mentioned at the end of the meeting if you would like to, for more detailed information. There is a requirement for solar projects above a certain capacity to have a decommissioning plan.
Okay.
And so they have to have a plan and allocation of credit, allocation of funds, which is usually through a letter of credit to fund decommissioning at the end of the project lifespan.
Okay.
For details on that, you can talk to the project proponent. And floodplains are one of the criteria that we evaluate, so there's definitely pre-filed testimony about the effects of the project on the floodplain.
Okay.
So there's more detailed information available on that as well.
Okay.
And so if that is, does that conclude your comments for the record?
2 off the top of my head, yes.
All right, great, thank you. With that, we've concluded public input section of the hearing, and I'm going to close the proceeding. Thank you for coming, everybody.